So online students, check it out, guys. Am I audible? Online students. So I think this document I sent you, no? Okay. Anybody observed? Okay. Okay. So in the last session, now we can see what we said in the last on Saturday. Okay. When you want to retrieving some data from a table in PLSQL, so select query directly. It is not a support. So instead of your select command, here we are using what now? Select into statement we are using. Okay, no? So how I said, for example, in your database, suppose if you want to see any one table, we are writing like this: select a star from so and so table name. And even though if you write like this, complete your table data, I can fetch. Otherwise, if I need to fetch a specific one, so we are using like EMP number is equals to 7788. So some specific one also we can fetch. And otherwise, suppose you need to fetch some specific columns, you need to fetch like employee number, name from EMP that you can fetch like this. Otherwise, one particular employee name and salary I want to display, or name and number, then even though we can say some number like 7788, that particular number and name I can fetch. So this is your select query. In your SQL language, whenever you want to fetching or retrieving some data from your table, we are using like this. But whereas come to sir, it's the same thing if I have to do in PLSQL, so we can't write like this and it doesn't support. So that's why in place of the select a star from table, we have our own one more. The select command was introduced in our PLSQL, that is called as what now? Select into statement. And now the syntax carefully observe. So select column name, comma, column name 2, comma, 1, comma, 2, comma, and so on. So how many columns, particular columns data, if you want it, you can use like this. Otherwise, sir, I want it star. You can use a star also. But whatever you are fetching the data from your table, those fetching columns data or table data, we can't directly displaying on the screen, just like your SQL. See, in SQL, what we did, which columns are you fetching now? Which columns are you fetching now? Those columns data directly I displayed. Yes or no? Those particular columns data directly I'm going to display. So this is not happening in the PLSQL, because in PLSQL, whatever the data we are fetching from the table data directly we can't show in my output screen. Okay, na? So then what we want to do, sir, it means that whatever the columns are columns, data are your retrieval. So this columns data, first you need to save into one variable. Suppose the variable is called X. And one more variable, ename column data, I want to store as a Y. So retrieval data from your table, we can't directly displaying on the screen. That's why what we want to do, retrieval data, you can store under variable first of all. Understand now? So in the variable, then these variables I need to print on my screen by using of dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. So that is the reason we are going to be using here. Okay, my syntax, what it was telling. Okay, column names into where it is a variables. Here, how many columns data you need to fetch? That many variables can declare and store into that variables. Understand now? Right. And now, which columns and these columns are you retrieval from which table? The table name also you can give it. And if it is necessary to give a where class condition, you can use, because already we know where class condition we are using for what purpose we want to use. Specific row or rows data retrieval purpose. Otherwise, no need to use a where class. So that's the where class I'm giving in the optional. Okay. Now see small example. Write a PLSQL program to display name, comma, salary details from EMP table as per the given employee number. So that means which employee number user was given. So that number, employee name and salary details I want to fetch from my table and that I want to display on the screen. How to fetch here? By using of a select into statements. Now here carefully observe. First here I'm going to declaring my variables. The variables you can take XYZ ABC also, but what it was happen, how many columns data are you retrieval? For each and every column purpose, that corresponding variable must be declared. Okay, and the variable names why I'm taking sir v underscore e name means that variable when I'm taking my column name as my variable name, if I'm taking like this, the advantage to the programmer is what now? That particular variable are you declared for which columns data storing purpose. So when we have a v underscore e name, then in the variable name I can see, I can understand that into this variable, which column data I'm storing? E name column data. V underscore salary, then which column data I'm storing? Salary column data. This is our programmer understandable purpose. Otherwise, sir, can I take in place of that XYZ? Can I take here? Means that yes, of course, you can take XYZ, ABC, whatever you can take it, your variable name. But in real time, why we are taking like this means it's our understandable format. Okay. So two column, two variables, and those columns, these e name and salary column, I'm retrieval from which table? EMP table as per which condition? Where EMP number is equals to ampersand is EMP number. Here ampersand means what I said yesterday. Dynamically we need to enter purpose. So dynamically we need to enter purpose. We want to use this. If you want to directly give some value, you can give it some value. So after retrieving the data from EMP table as per your EMP number condition, those columns values I want to store into the corresponding variable. E name column data store into e name. Salary column data store into salary. Understand na? So it will be like this. Now the program, observe carefully. So now this is actually in a SQL language. Suppose in SQL have the same thing. In SQL language, how to write a e name comma salary from EMP where EMP number is equals to sum. This is SQL, but the same scenario I'm using in a PLSQL. But PLSQL is not a query based language. It is a programming based language. So that's what I want to do. I want to declare X. This X variable I'm using for storing of which column? E name. E name is a which data type? Varchar 2. The varchar 2. This is variable declaration. Now, why? Why I'm declaring for which column? Salary. Salary is which type? Number type. Okay. Two variables I declared. Next, begin. What I want to use here? Now you have to write a self query. Which columns you wanted? E name, comma, salary. These are, I'm going to taking from which table? From EMP table. What condition basis? Where EMP number is equals to 7788. Okay, now this is actually query. So what I am going to do here, I am retrieving e name comma salary column data from which table? EMP table on which conditional basis? Where EMP number is equals to 7788. Here also same, same or not? Yes, same query. Okay, but what I'm saying here, these are SQL language query. This is PLSQL, but I'm still in SQL format only I'm writing. So that's what we want to do in PLSQL format. PLSQL format, what need to extra add into which variables? X, comma, Y. That's it. Okay, na? But here tell me, if I'm taking x comma y means somewhat confusion. Na? X variable is belongs to which column? Y variable is belongs to which column? So that is somewhat confusion. So that is the reason I'm taking what now? My column name is my variable name. Okay, but x comma y also support. Just I keep it. Okay, no problem. Now, what next I have to now tell me? Now your e-name column, salary column, these columns values of 7788 employee, where it is those values under, where I'm storing x comma y. That means which one I need to print? X comma y. See, this is completely programs. Java.NET, if you have some little bit idea, C, C++, you can easily understand. Now dbms underscore output dot put underscore line of. What is the put underscore line? Here I will give it x concatenation comma concatenation y. That's it. Okay, then after I need to end my begin statement because I'm not using any exception blocks. Okay, just normal programs I'm writing now and execute now. What it was happen, you can see which employee here? 7788. Employee name is what? Salary how much? 3000. But the same thing in SQL also same, na? Yes. But this is SQL format. This is PLSQL format. That's called, it is a multi-line statement. This is single line statement. Okay, na? Right. Suppose, sir, okay. But sir, here I don't want to give my employee number as a static level. This is called a fixed level. I want to give dynamically. Then what we want to do? Now we can see. Declare X, Y, begin. And now in place of this, ampersandage EMP number. That's it. And the remaining same. The remaining same. So print your values. And what next? End your begin block. Begin block should be ended here. Okay, and execute my program. Same output will come, but here dynamically asking to me. See, dynamically asking, so now I'm giving 7788. Got it? Yes, but what it was showed to me? Old and new. What I want to do to avoid this? Set verify is off. Okay. Next, 7369. Suppose one more employee. The name is Smith, comma 800. Next, suppose 7900. James, comma 950. Suppose now I can go for here 7566. So now dynamically, which employee number you given, that employee name and salaries are displayed. And now what I'm saying here x comma means here two variables are there and two columns are there. That's why I can take this and I'm no confusion. But when you go for multiple columns, definitely you will get to make a confusions. So that's what I'm going to do. Instead of taking x comma y, a comma b, I'm taking what now? Which columns data are you fetching from the table? Those columns names I'm taking as a variable name. Okay, now? So now how I can take this variable name here? Let me come out and see. So declaration, here I want V stands for variable. It's my identification I'm taking. E name, which type? Varchar 2 type here. Next, V underscore salary. And remaining all are same. There is no difference here. As usual, begin. And which column you want it? Name, comma, salary. Where I want to store now? V E name, comma, V underscore salary. From which table? EMP. What condition? EMP number is equals to ampersandage of EMP number. Next, what I want to do? Print. How to print? dbms underscore output dot put underscore line of V underscore E name concatenation, comma, concatenation, V underscore salary. What's next? End execute. Now asking, you can give some number. So got it? Yes. So this is the way, if you want to fetching the data from your table in PLSQL language, then you must be write this much query, this much program. And in the program, which query I want to use? Select into class statement I want to use. Select star from table name, not directly allowed. Understand na? So that is one point should be remembered. So that is the purpose of this is what now? Your, okay, the declarations of select into statement. Understand na? Yes. And what I'm saying here, this select into statement is always be written how many rows? Single row. Okay, and single value. And it can be using under execution block. So you can't use any declaration and exception block, and always be give it as only single row. That's why you can see only one row is giving us. Yes or no? Only one row is giving us. There's no multiple rows here. Okay, because the nature of select into class. What is the nature here? Single row will be written. But select star from table name can return multiple rows. So in select language, in select query, in SQL language, select query will be returning either single row or multiple. But here it was be written only single. Understand na? So that is what it was. That is a difference. Now, okay. But here we have a problem. What is the problem here? Carefully observe. So this is my program, and columns and column related variables I declared. That's okay. But sir, suppose when I see this structure of EMP, careful observe, ename column data type, what it was there here? Varchar 2. That column data type varchar 2. And now that column corresponding variable data type is also varchar 2. So that means a variable for which column are you declared, that column data type, whatever it was there in the table structure, same data type should be there to the variable. That means your column data type in a table, the column corresponding variable data type must be matched, same. If it is not same, then your program will show error. Understand na? So, okay, this is what the situation I'm declaring variables. So now we can see, now the people will come to here, ename column, suppose carefully observe, varchar 2 is there. In my table structure, ename column data type is there, varchar 2 of some size. Okay, sir, this is table structure. So that's why when this column corresponding variable, whatever I declared, that variable data type is also matching with your column data type. So that's why this program successfully executed, and it was accepting some value and returning some values. That's okay. But sir, in the future, suppose if anybody come and change your data type, in place of varchar 2, suppose they change as a, what is now? Date. So in your table structure, if any column data, suppose ename column data type is someone modified, and that column corresponding variable are you used in a program, in a particular program. Now tell me, now this program will execute or not execute? Not execute. Why, sir? So ename column related variable, whatever I declared in my program, that variable data type and ename column data type is not matching. So that means we're showing error. Yes or no? Then to overcome, what we want to do? Again, this entire program, I need to rewrite with the data type is what now? Date. Yes or no? Then the program executor? Yes, no problem. After certain period of time, again someone is came, then the date to number they converted into my table. Again this program, what happened? Not executed, because data types are not matching. So again this program want to execute means again I need to re-declare or rewrite. Now rewrite level, again what I am using here, number. Then program executed. Yes. But after certain period of time, again someone came, they got it again, varchar 2. Again the program executed, not executed. Not execute. Again, if you wanted this program, again you want to rewrite. Rewrite with what? Varchar 2. So now tell me conclusion is what? By seeing of this scenario, what you understand? So whenever a user want to change the data type of a column at the table or in the table, that column corresponding variables wherever are you used or declared, that entire application program will be affected. Is it correct? Yes. But tell me, every time I want to change my data type, my entire program, I want to rewrite, change, rewrite, change, rewrite. Is it good in real time? No. That kind of things are not encouraging by people. Yes or no? Then what I want to do? Sir, once I written my program means that was fixed. Whatever you want to change, you can change. I don't bother about that. But whatever you change, okay, the changes will not be affected to my program. The changes will not affect to my program. And again, programmer not necessary to rewrite. So then what I want to do, sir, that kind of things I have to provide here. There is called as a anchor notations we called. What we call, guys? Anchor notations. Anchor notations or variable attributes also we can call. Okay. What is anchor notations? All of you read this theory? Anybody read? So that means Sunday not open the document. Open, all of you know. Open your mobile. So before I'm sending document means what I'm expecting here. You just read and come to class. Something will be theory, na? Theory read. All of you read that statement, variable attributes. Variable attributes are used in place of data types. So wherever data types are used, there I can use variable attributes or anchor notations. Below write down. So second paragraph. When I'm using variable attributes, what it was happen? Read, all of you. Whenever second paragraph, what do you understand? Suppose if I am using variable attributes, what it was happen? Internally, some memory is going to be allocating for variable attribute. In that memory, what I am storing? For storing the corresponding variable column data type, which was at your table designing level. Understand now? Okay. Next, advantage, read once. Next paragraph, advantage. What is advantage? Suppose the variable attributes. Okay, na? So variable attributes are whenever we want to change. Okay. So a particular column of data type in a table, then automatically whatever you changed, the changes will be affected into your variable attribute memory. Okay, na? So it means what, sir? I will explain. These variable attributes, how many levels? 2 levels. One is I can use at column level, I can use at a row level. What is column level? Check. In this level, we are defining variable attributes for individual columns. And how I can define syntax is what now? Variable name, table name dot column name percentile type. Percentile type is called as a representator. That's called a column level attribute representator. So now, okay, now variable name, table name dot column name percentile type. So here you can see v underscore e name salary. These are what? Variables. But in place of varchar 2 data type, I am using what? A variable. In place of number data type, I am using what? A variable. Advantage what, sir? Let me come out and see. If I'm using like this to my variables, what I'm saying here, whenever you want to use attributes, it will allocating some memory. Okay. And in your table, ename column, which type? Varchar 2 of some size. So here data type, no need to mention. What I'm doing in place of data type, I was mentioned a variable attribute. Variable attribute, once you use it, internally some memory allocating. In that memory, this is memory, careful observe. In that memory, this variable are you declared for which column? The column data type, whatever it was there in the table structure, this data type automatically saved or stored here. Okay. Now tell me. Now v underscore e name variable, which type? Varchar. That v underscore e name variable, are you declared for which column? E name column. Column here. E name column, which data type? So column data type, variable data type matching up? Yes. Okay, na? After certain period of time, somebody came and they change as a data type. Suppose in your table, varchar 2 place, they change as what now? Date. Then what I said? Whatever you changed here, this date automatically changed or replaced here also. What it was come now? Date. Now tell me, my variable data type, my column data type matching up? So that means here, programmer need to rewrite my entire program? No. Suppose someone is came. They will change. Again, what now? Varchar 2. Then this is automatically changed here. What is this? Varchar 2. Is it clear? Yes. So that means when I'm using attributes, what is the advantage of attributes, variable attributes, sir? If anybody asks you, the advantage is what now? In place of data type, I'm using that first of all. Once I use that, memory allocations. In that memory, that variable, are you declared for which column data storage? That column data type in your table, what it is? That data type automatically stored under this variable attribute memory. So in the future, if programmer will do any modification, okay, on that column data type, automatically it will be reflected in my variable memory. By this reason, programmer no need to write a program again and again. One time written, enough. One time written, enough. Okay, na? So this is the advantage of what now? Variable attribute. That is, I said, the advantage of variable attributes are whenever we want to change a particular column data type in a table, then the corresponding column variable data type also changed in the variable attribute memory automatically. Clear? Yes. And now we can see, sir, what we want to do now. Now we can see same program. The program I'm not changing here. The same program, I will go for this declared, but in place of data type, what I want to use? Attribute. What is my attribute? Come on. Table name. What is the table name? EMP. Come on. Dot. Which column? What is that type? Percentile type. Next, V underscore what? Salary. Which table? Which column? What is the representator? Type. Okay. Next, remaining same? Yes. So begin, select ename comma salary into VE name comma V salary from EMP, where EMP number is equals to % of EMP number, then DBMS underscore output to dot put underscore line of V underscore E name. What is that? Concatenation comma concatenation V underscore salary. Finally, end execute. Now you can get the same thing. You get it now. See, is there any changes? Not at all. So that means what I'm doing here, in place of data types, I'm using variable attributes. That's it. But here the problem of one problem is there in this column level. What is the problem? Here, how many columns are you retrieval here? 2 columns. That's why I'm declaring how many variables? 2 variables. Okay. But in case, sir, if I'm using in place of selected column, I'm using what? Star. Now tell me, in my EMP table, star means all columns means how many columns? 8 rows, columns, still confused. How many columns? 8 columns. So that means, are you retrieving all columns data? Now, if I follow column level attributes, tell me how many variables I need to declare? 8 variables. Is it necessary? Suppose your table is having 100 columns. Then 100 variables are you declaring in the program? No. It's highly complex now. Yes. Then what I want to do, instead of 8 columns to declare here, I am declaring how many variables? 1 variable. 1 variable for how many columns? 8 columns. How many columns? 8 columns. Which is better? 1 variable for 8 columns maintenance is better, like the 8 variables, 8 columns purpose better? 1 variable for 8 columns is simple, na? Yes. Programmer also easy, na? Yes. So that kind of type of variable is called as what, na? Row level attribute. So row level attribute, what it was telling? Come out. In this level, we are declaring a single variable. It will represent all different data types of a column or types of columns in a table. And what is the representation? Percentile, row type. So this representation, careful understand, in the future classes are the collections. In collections topic, this is important. Okay, na? So now row type. Now syntax is what? Variable name, table name. See, directly table name, but I'm not taking any column name. Table name, percentile, row type. But can you tell me guys here, see, sir, how you say row type will be storing all the columns means, so now we can come out and see your table. This is your table, huh? Yes. How many columns we have here total? 8. But here, can I say here, a row is nothing but group of columns, huh? A row is nothing but group of columns. Is it correct? So that's why. So what row level attribute will do? Row, a value, single variable. This single variable is going to be storing all columns in the row. How many columns are there? All columns data types are saved here. Understand, na? So that is what a row level advantage. That's why a row is nothing but a group of columns. Okay, right. So now we can come out and check now. So what I want to do, sir, here observe. Again, the same program I'm just taking here. So declared, but here I will take one of the variable I, emp percentile, what? Row type. Okay, I just leave. Just begin. And suppose you required ename comma sal that I want to store under I. Store under I. From which table? Where? What is the condition? EMP number and percentage EMP number. Okay. And now here observe dbms underscore. What is that? Output to dot put underscore line of. How many columns I'm taking? Only 2 columns I'm retrieving now. Yes, not star now. Yes, 2 columns. 2 columns is where it will be column I. I dot ename. Concatenation, comma, concatenation. I dot salary. Okay. Then end and execute. So now 7566, you can see something is missing. Too many values. Too many values are. From spelling, okay, na? Spellings you can see, everything is clear. Ename salary into I from EMP where number. We are passing too many values. I dot ename. The 2 columns will be saved into I, but I is nothing but all columns. Check it out. I dot ename comma I dot salary. So declaration begin. Because here how many columns we selected? 2. I dot salary. dbms underscore output to dot put underscore line of what is that? I dot ename concatenation comma concatenation I dot salary. Okay, now check it out here. Is it clear? Yes. So now here we taken out what now? Required columns. So required columns we need to mention here. Okay. And star, if I'm taking star means what now? I want to take a I. Now this is what? 2 columns I taken. Now I need entire row, sir. How to write entire row? Same program. So declaration I begin. Here what I want to change? Here in place of selected columns, I'm using what? Star. Star means what now? All columns. Here I is nothing but what now? All columns. So star into I. From same thing, yes. Then what we want to do? dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. Okay, here I can't use I like this. Okay, na? So I means what now? All columns. So every column you need to mention. How to mention? I dot emp number concatenation comma I dot ename concatenation comma I dot salary concatenation comma okay I dot dpt number. For example, how many columns I mentioned here? 1. How many columns I need to print here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let me come out and see, and finally end execute. 77W2 can go. So how many columns data we fetched? 4 columns. So if you wanted remaining 4 columns, you should mention I dot MGR, I dot hire date, I dot commission, that all you have to mention. But here there is a no chance to put it only one. Okay, na? Because I means all columns here. Okay, that's each and every column. How many columns you displayed? 1 or 2 or else 10 or 20 that you have to mention here. Understand na? So this is what we called as a row type. So column level, every column wise individually we are going to be declaring here. Okay. Row level we are declaring only one variable for entire the row. A row is nothing but a group of columns. Is it clear na? So these are the one. See the same examples I was given here. Okay na? All right. This is the first introduction part of your PLSQL. Okay na? So these are all are you can do practice. Okay. Right. Second introduction is what now here, guys? We already said in our futures what we said. SQL PLSQL will be supporting some conditional and control statements. Conditional and control statements. Okay now? Now this statement is also, I'm going to send it to your Google class, and all of you open your mobiles. So this is one main notes I'm sending to you. Control statements. Okay now? All of you open you got it, check it out. Okay, got it? Now check it out. Open all of you that. Now first I will explain to you that all syntaxes, and after that how to use these syntaxes in the programs we will check it out. Okay now? Now you can see, guys. Open your mobiles, also open. Okay, so control structures. Observe control structures. Generally, control structures are in your almost every programming language is support. Why are you using these control statements? So when we are checking of logics, writing of some logics, and you need to show the program execution flow or logic, sorry, not program, logic execution flow. If you are using for loop, the for loop logic, how many times iteration, how many times iterating, as per your condition, it will be go further. Like a while loops, like a for loops. Okay, like you're checking the condition either true or a false, like a if else conditions, nested if else conditions. So these all control statements or structures will be used to control the flow of the programs. And especially these are not supported in SQL, but supported under PLSQL. So there are three types of control structures, guys. Conditional, branching, iterations. Conditional control structures are four types. Simple, if else, multiple if else or ladder, or nested if else. So now we can see simple if, all of you understand. It contains only true block, and the syntax also very, very carefully observed, because in coming soon, these all I'm using in the programs. Okay, na? Some noise is coming here. Who are talking blue shirt? See, mobile open means I'm giving this to change, to check it out, not your charting purpose. So now, here observe. So syntax observe carefully. Okay, now what is the syntax? If a condition, then execute statements, and execute statements I'm writing under true block. There is a end if. But here there is no any false block. Okay, now? So that means what happened? If your condition will be true, then the true block statements are executed. Okay, now? That's okay. But sir, if condition is a false, suppose what happens, sir? What happened means, sir, it will be nothing to display your statement. Understand, na? When condition true, the true related logic or statement, what you written, that will be show. If condition is a false, then it is not written any statement. It is not give it as any statement or nothing. Just it was saying that some open or some blank space will be provided, but we are not going to get any output. So that is what we called as a simple if we called. Okay, now? But sir, I don't want it like this. I want it how it is. If condition true, true statement display. If condition false, false statement display. Generally in real time, mostly we are using what now? If else only we are using. Because nowadays you all of you know, if your transaction success, you will get a successful message to your mobile. Your transaction fail, you will get a fail message also, na? Yes. How it will getting? Because of if else condition. So if transaction success, then successful message, your transaction successfully completed. Your transaction ID number, so-and-so date, so-and-so time, how much amount you transfer, to which accounts transfer, everything will be come to you. Suppose in case my transaction fail, even though we are getting a message. What is the message? Your transaction failed. The failing transaction ID number, reference number, etc. So how we are getting that from our application, like online applications, like Phone Pay, Google Pays. Okay, how we are getting that means in case of what now? If else condition. So that's why if else condition most often we are using in our real time. So it contains what now? Both true block and false block. And see, if this is our syntax actually. If condition true, true block is execute. If condition false, even though false block is executed, that means the user will get positive message as well as negative message. That is advantage of if else. So syntax is observe careful. Next, nested if. Nested means what now? If within the if is called as a nested. So nested if as syntax careful observe. I am explaining here. See, suppose this is called a outer if condition. If this outer if condition true, then your loop enter into internal if condition. Internal if condition true, then executing true block. If internal if condition false, then executing else part. Understand na? Yes. This is when it is internal if else will be executed when outer if condition is true. If outer if condition is true, internal if else conditions are executed. If suppose my outer if condition is false, then where it will go? It will go to else part. In else part, again I am writing what? If else. So in else part, again internal if condition true, executing true block. If internal if condition false, then executing false part or else block. So this is what now nested if. Internal if is end if, and this end if what? Outer if else. Outer if else. This is outer na? This is outer na? Yes. Outer if else end. So two endings here. This is what now? Nested. Next one we called as if else a ladder. Okay. It means a multiple if else conditions I am using. So now we can see if, else if, like so many conditions I can use. Now we can observe. If condition will be true, then executing true block and remaining blocks are not executed. If first condition will be false, then coming to where? Else if second condition check. If second condition is true, executing true block. Remaining all are not executed. If second if condition is false, then coming to next condition. The next condition will check. If it is true, then it will be come to you, execute your true block. Otherwise, it will go to else block. So remaining conditions are not executed. So when conditions are true, true blocks are executed. If any condition false, what happened? Directly jump to else part. So here multiple conditions purpose only one else block. Okay, na? First condition true, true block is executed. Okay, if suppose first condition is false, come to what? Next condition is executed. Next condition is true, true block is executed. If next condition is false, next come to next condition. Next condition true, true block, otherwise next condition. Like this, what is your last condition? What suppose you think here it is a last condition, suppose. This is a last condition. So this condition after I'm not writing any condition. Then what happened? The last condition, if it is a false, if it is a false, if it is a false, then where it will come? Directly else part. Directly else part. So first condition true, true execute. First condition false, second condition will come. Checking. True, true execute. False, third condition. Suppose I'm writing three conditions only. Then what happened? First condition false, second condition false, third condition also false. Then it will come to where now? Else part. Okay, na? This is called a ladder. And here, so many people thinking, sir, else spelling is wrong, sir. Okay, ELS, E also somebody expected. But it's not like that. It's not your C language and Java. It is a ELS only. Understand, na? If you're writing ELSE, na, it's showing compilation error. Okay, here our spelling is ELS. ELS if, that's it. Okay, na? Right. So this is what now? 4 conditional statements. Next one. What is the next one? Branching statement. So branching statement also you can see. So case either variable or expression. Suppose here I'm condition, one condition I'm going to, one variable I'm declaring here. So in this variable, suppose your first conditional data is true, the true statement, whatever you return, this statement will be saving under which variable? Your case variable or expression. And this case variable I'm going to printing on my screen. So suppose if condition is false, then it will go to next condition. If next condition true, the true block statements are executed, and that result will be saved under case variable or expression, and this case variable I'm going to printing on my screen. Like all here also one by one, but every condition true, the true conditional statements results, logic results are saving under where now? Variable or expression. So like a multiple condition. Suppose this condition false, this condition false, this condition false, then what it was come? Else part. Then else part statements are printing. Okay, na? So these are just syntaxes I'm explaining, but practical I will show you. Don't worry. Okay, na? Right. This is case. And the next statements are called as what? Iterations. Iterations, observe carefully. Here in your front end side, how many iterations supported? In Java, how many supports? For loop, while loop, do while loop, for each loop. For each loop is there? No, for each loop. Simple loop is there? Huh? No, these are 4 only. While, do while, for each. Yes or no? But come to in database side, PLSQL, we have a 3 loopings. One is simple loop, one is while loop, one is for loop. Understand now? First observe syntaxes. Simple loop. Simple loop is called as it is an infinity loop. The nature of simple loop is what now? Infinity loop. That means under this simple loop, if I'm going to writing some logic, some x is equals to x less than or equals to some giving here 10. Some increments are I've given. So what happened here? This x less than or equals to 10 is executed how many times? Infinity times. So that means there is no break system. There is no break system. 1 to 10, 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 like the loop will be continue infinity times. But it cannot break. Generally what it was happen as per the condition 1 to 10 reached, automatic loop is break na? Automatic, that is a while loop or for loop like that. But simple loop nature in database is not like that. The condition once reached to your destination, again it will start it from starting to end. Again, starting to end. So that's why what happened. This is called as what? Infinity loop. So these infinity loop, I need to break. When I want to break, when my condition lastly it will be true or false. So there you can break it as per requirement. So the breaking purpose, what I want to use, exit. If I'm not using exit statement in this loop, then my system sometimes crash also. Because you can't stop it. That will be continuously executing. So sometime what happens, your system will be crash. That's the reason. Simple loop is, when we are using simple loop, immediately remember what now? Execute. So what I'm saying here, if we want to break, see, if we want to break a simple loop, then we should use what? Exit statement. That exit statement where I'm writing, sir, okay, this is syntax is very simple, but where I'm writing, how I'm writing exit statement, that I will show you in the logics. In the logics, I will show it how it will be exit. Okay, now, right. Come to while loop. And while loop, I don't want to explain to more and much because already, you know, same as usual. What is as usual? Why condition loop execute increment or decrement end a loop. Understand na? If condition are you writing like this, if okay, we are writing x less than or equals to 5. Okay, then what happened here? Suppose first x is equals to 1 if I declared. My starting value 1. The one you are substitute here, 1 less than or equals to 5. Condition true or false? True. Condition true means enter into loop and print your value. So value printed. How much printed? 1 printed. After 1 is printed, what I am going to do? Suppose increment. Increment how to do here? X plus 1. Suppose if I am giving. Then what happened? 1 plus 1? 2. That true increment value, again it will be come and check of your while loop na? Yes. Then X value now this time how much? 2. 2 less than or equals to 5. Then condition what happened? True. True means again loop, again printed. 2 is printed. 2 plus 1. 3. 3 less than or equals to 5. True. 3 is printed. 3 increment is how much? 3 plus 1, 4. 4 less than or equals to 5. True. 4 is printed. 4 plus 1, 5. 5 less than or equals to 5. True. 5 is printed. 5 plus 1, 6 less than or equals to 5. False. Automatic loop is out. Exit. So here automatic exit. Here I don't want to write any exit statement. As per your loop, up to the condition true, values are printed. Up to the conditions are true, values are printed. When the condition false, automatic loop is exit. Okay, now this is while advantage. Same as a decrement also. Now come back here, for loop. For loop is also quite opposite, guys. In your front end side, for loop is different. Back end side, for loop is different. What is that? Observe. By default, for loop increment by how much here? 1. It's a default. So you don't want to give any increments values here. Like x plus plus, x minus minus, no need. Post increment, pre increments not necessary to give here. Okay, now. So by default, it increment is how much? 1. Now we can see, for example, for loop index variable I am taking. In a starting value 1, dot ending value I'm taking a 10. Here 2 dots only you can use. It's not and so on, dot, not like that. It's only 2 dots. If using sir, it is and so on, I can put it and so on means the compilation error. Okay, na? So that is a dot. So now 1 dot 10. Okay, suppose I'm going to execute this program. First starting value how much? 1. This 1 will be saved under I. Then I value, here I'm printing I value. So I will say dbms underscore, okay, output of I. So now I value printed, how much? 1. After printing, what it was happen here? Again, it will go to your start value. To the start value by default increment, how much? 1. So then you can add it. 1 plus 1, 2. The 2 will come. Automatic increment. I'm not doing anything. Then 2 will be saved under where? I. Index variable I. Then I value how much printed? 2. Then 2 after again it will be increment plus 1. Then 2 plus 1. 3. 3 plus 1. 4 plus 1. 9 plus 1. 10. 10 is printed. After printing 10, then what it was here? Your end value 10 is over. So once your end value reached, automatically your loop is exit. Okay, na? Right. So this is what we called as a for loop. So for loop, what is the syntax? For indexed variable, in is called a predefined key, and starting value, from where to where you have to start. Starting value dot ending value loop, and write your logic in this and your end loop. Okay, now, but here, sir, in your for loop, what happened in java.net? You are declaring int I is equals to 0, comma, semicolon, x less than or equals to 10, comma, x plus plus. Yes or no? But here we are not writing like increments or decrements. Okay, now automatically increment only. But in the for loop, you can't use a decrement. It's only for increments. But if you want to do decrement, there I can use a reverse keyword. Reverse keyword advantage is what now? For example, I displayed increment value 1 to 5. Then 1 to 5 is displayed. Yes or no? My starting value 1, ending value 5. 1 to 5. This is what increment. Suppose a decrement means you can't write a decrement logic like x minus minus or x minus 1. I can't write because default increment by 1. So then, but how, sir, I can reverse these numbers? Means that here I want to use a one keyword. What is the keyword I want to use? Reverse. Just I'm using reverse 1 dot 5. So then what happened? These values are first printed what? 5. Next 4, 3, 2, 1. This is called a decrement. Reverse. Reverse keyword is there. Okay, now that keyword I will show in the examples how to use. So these are what we call the control statements or control structures also we can call. So this is, guys, your introduction part of a PLSQL. And introduction, 2 copies of notes, that means called a documentation, I already uploaded. So tomorrow we will enter our main topics. Okay, so cursors, procedures, functions, triggers, collections, exception handling, these are we are going to be started. Understand now? Right. So that I will start it on tomorrow class, right? Okay, guys. So I stop it here and we'll continue tomorrow. So already this notes I uploaded. Once at home, you also once revise this okay syntaxes. Okay, na? Then you will understand. And this all I'm showing in my programs, how to using this control and conditional statements, looping statements, branching statements. Okay, na? This all you can see in the programs also. Okay, right, guys. Okay, right. We will continue on tomorrow. Right, guys. Thank you.